Okay, so I have another game, which I played a couple of months ago. So again, I apologize for my lack of remembering the details. But hopefully, I'll be able to narrate enough for you to get a relatively clear picture of what happened. So I'm playing against a high elf army. This actually looks like it was taken after the high elf first turn, because you can see that he's moved up a little bit further than 12 inches off the baseline. We are using ETC rules, so the hills block line of sight, which is very important for this game. And basically, his list is as follows. From the left to the right, he's got a unit of 10 to 12 archers, unit of looks like 14 sword masters, and I think the banner of sorceries in there. To the left of the building, he's got a big unit of white lions. It looks like 25 to 28 or so. His BSB's in there with 2 up armor, 5 up wards, standard kit. He's got the standard of balance in there, which is pretty. You don't see that a whole lot, but this particular opponent of mine likes it a lot because he plays against my demons and my beastmen a lot. So he likes to take the hatred away from both of them, respectively. So they got the standard of balance, which also makes them immune to psych, which is very important for later. And then we have a kind of a watchtower building, which is full of. He's got a big unit of archers in there. I think it's 21 archers, and he has a level 4 ethereal level 4 with light magic, and then he's got a light level 2 with the seer staff, and then 2 light level 1s, and one of them's got the Anulian crystal, but no scroll. So yeah. This is just nasty. I actually specifically requested to play against this light spam list because there was a tournament coming up, and I just kind of wanted to see how screwed I would be if I drew light spam. And then he's got kind of this small unit of looks like 15-ish spears with a musician. He's got one eagle that you can see, and then there's another one floating around somewhere, which is probably behind the building. And then he's got this another unit of 10 to 12 archers. So here's a funky shot of my army. You can see my Forge World Keeper of Secrets all the way there at the end. She's hiding behind a hill. Remember, like I said, this is ZTC, so hills block line of sight. Which is very important because if hills didn't block line of sight, there'd be no point even playing this game because you could just blow her off the table with banishment on the first turn. So I have also hiding behind the hill, I have a Bloodcausher and a Fiend. My Bloodletters, which looks like they've taken some kills already. So, like I said, these pictures were taken after his first turn, so he probably killed some of them. Got a Herald in there with armor and Firestorm Blade. And then I have a big block of Plague Bearers who have also taken some casualties. They have a Herald with the -2 leadership banner in there. And so this is the movement of my first turn. I have a unit of 6 Flamers. This was before the update, so Flamers are actually good in this game. And then I have another Fiend, another Crusher, and I have a Herald with... I think I was running Heavens on this guy, and that's why he's behind the hill that blocks line of sight, is because he doesn't really have any magic that requires line of sight or anything like that. I was comboing up. I have the Keeper's also a level 4, so I was kind of comboing her Slaanesh magic with Heavens for the is it Ice Shard Blizzard, I think, and then the leadership banner. So I was going for a really dirty trick here, which would have been absolutely awesome against literally any other army. But this light spam high elves really is going to give it some problems. So that's why I requested to play this game. Anyway, so. So here's my first movement phase. Basically moving the Fiend and the Crusher to take down Chaff, and basically not really sure what I'm going to do about the bunker in the building. Could be a problem. Now I move my Keeper of Secrets out from behind the hill because basically I need to get her into combat as safely as possible, or as soon as possible. But she's got a Siren Song. She's got an ace up her sleeve. So the reason why I put her right there is so that she can Siren Song the White Lions. And the reason why I'm going for the White Lions because I don't particularly relish the thought of her facing all those strength 6 attacks. But number one, it's safer than 2 banishments, and number two, they have the standard of balance, so they're immune to psych, so they can't flee from the Siren Song. Because if I picked basically any other unit on the table to Siren Song, he could have just fled the charge and then blown her away in the magic phase. So that's why I'm going for the White Lions. So as insanely dangerous as that unit is, it's actually the safest spot on the table for her, which is kind of funny. Fiend number one is goes up to redirect the Swordmasters because they can get a flank charge on the Keeper, and if that happens, they probably won't do very much to her in combat, but the extra combat res will pop her, and things are going to be bad enough with her getting challenged out by a White Lion champ, or whatever. Crusher on the left is basically just kind of, I don't know, messing around with that eagle or whatever. Looks like I did some shooting or some magic to kill some of the spears. Looks like that unit's about 10 or 11 guys now, so it'll be easy pickings for my Fiend and my Crusher. Okay, so we go to High Elves. He just shuffles his spears around, whatever, and then starts blasting me, because there really is no movement. He is basically redirection. Speaking of which, you'll notice he put the eagle safely out of the charge arcs of my chaff, but also behind my lines so that he has some good options later on in the game. Okay, so it looks like I skipped a picture of this side of the table during his turn, for which I apologize. But you can see that I did Siren Song the White Lions. He had to charge because of the immune to Psych banner, and through either combat res or just fighting, he put 1 wound on the Keeper, which is, I mean, basically what I expected. They're hitting on 4s with no rerolls, wounding on 4s, and then she's got the wards, so she just actually has decent survivability against them. So on my turn, I charge the Bloodletters into the flank of the White Lions. I'm not sure why he didn't reform. Maybe he didn't want the Keeper in his flank, because his chances of actually killing her go down drastically if she's to the flank, so maybe that's it. He's got 2 more eagles over here. Yeah. Let's see. Actually, I think he might have... I think he tried to charge... I think he charged the eagles into the rear of the Keeper, but because of that ridiculous hill, he couldn't actually put the models up there, so we're just kind of, notionally his eagles are fighting the Keeper or something like that for the extra combat res, so he could get the +2 for the rear or whatever to try to pop her. Let's see, moving the Flamers up to kill the Swordmasters, because that's what Flamers do. Well, used to do. And then, yeah, Blood Crusher goes into the small spear unit, and the Fiend goes into the archers, so we're going to try to clean them up. Okay, what is this? Okay, so this looks like after close combat. Keeper's still going strong. I think... Why? I reformed the Bloodletters so they're 4 wide for some reason. Not sure. Probably to put as much distance as possible between them and that Swordmaster unit, because if I'd have stayed in Horde, I think it would substantially decrease the distance between the 2 units, thus making a charge more likely, or possibly so that if he charged in, he would only have 1 Swordmaster in base contact, and that's much more desirable for me than having that whole unit, because they will just tear that Bloodletter unit up. So either way, reform to narrow the Bloodletters to keep these Swordmasters from just wrecking my day. Let's see. Otherwise, looks like my Blood Crusher killed all the Spearmen, and so he charges in with the Eagle. I guess hoping that he'll win the combat. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so he definitely charged the Eagles into the Keeper for the extra combat res. I don't know if he didn't necessarily did it in the previous turn when I said that, but he definitely has. That's what they're doing now. So needless to say, the Keeper, I put some attacks on the Eagles to cancel out their additional combat res, and so I think she kills both of them, which is nice. Swordmasters fail to charge into the Bloodletters, which is also nice. So things look like they're actually going pretty well for the demons here, but actually I'm faced with the conundrum of what am I going to do? Once the white lions are dead, I mean, what's the plan from there to get the stupid light spam unit out of the building? So here's another picture, I guess. Okay, so here's an overview of things. It looks like my flame. Oh, this is in my next turn. So my blood crusher failed to kill the eagle, which is all right because it allows my plague bearers to get a charge, and actually they're going to get not only a charge, but they'll also get a reform after they win the combat. So that'll allow me to do some stuff to get my banner. Where it can do some damage. And this actually looks like a pretty good situation for me to be in, because his bunker is in the building, which is within 6 inches of the eagle. So when the eagle dies, he's going to have to take a panic check at -2 from my banner, and his BSB is in the white lion unit. So this is actually a pretty good situation for me to be in. Actually, scratch all of that. I think he saw that coming and thus moved his bunker out of the building, which is I think where they are right now. So yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, so you can see that I have a fiend in the backfield. That is the same fiend who killed the archer unit. So he's swinging around to get a rear charge on his bunker, because I know if I can just win a combat with him within 12 of my despair icon, that my chances of actually running that unit down are really, really good. Move the flamers out of the safety of, or into the safety of being out of the Swordmaster's charge arc, and then my blood crusher is on the left here, is running towards his bunker. So if I can get the crusher and the fiend in there while he's in range of my banner, I could possibly win the game. You can see down in the main combat, definitely whittling down the white lion unit. You can see my keeper's in pretty good shape. She's only taken 1 wound thus far. But then we go to close combat, and he's got 4 guys in base contact with her. She's got 4 wounds left, so I think I'm in pretty good shape. But it turns out that he needs 4s to hit, 4s to wound, and then I get my ward. He hits with all 4 attacks, wounds with all 4 attacks, and I fail all 4 saves. So just like that, the keeper's dead. So he didn't even need the banishment. So yeah, I was kind of annoyed. Whatever, that's probably game. But he's got 5 white lions and his BSB left fighting my bloodletters, which is alright, because I can finish them off and kill his BSB. So all of these scratch back some points, but then I'm still stuck with that banishment, double banishment. So we'll see. So here's just another picture of the situation up here. My small units looking to take down his bunker. Okay, so at the end of the close combat with the eagle, my plague bears reform. I think this reform puts. I move the BSB to the right side of the unit, the right corner of the unit. I think that puts him within 12 inches of the bunker. So that's pretty much as good as I can ask for. And I think this picture was obviously taken in the high elf turn. He moves the Swordmaster so that I think the Bloodletters might still be in their front. So, and then he has killed a couple of my Plague Bears here with some kind of magic. Okay, so on my next turn, I go ahead and I move my Flamers out of the Swordmaster Charge Arc again. It looks like he's actually done a lot of damage in that previous magic phase. That I didn't really mention. He's killed a substantial number of Plague Bearers and half my Bloodletter unit. So now, if you're wondering why I didn't charge the Bloodletters into the Swordmasters, it's that unit's so small that they'll just die now. And basically I have to gamble everything on being able to take down his bunker while conserving the points, which may or may not be a good call. I don't really remember. So here's how we're looking. I don't think I actually charged my Blood Crusher in. I knew my Fiend was going to win the combat against the bunker on his own, so I just put the Blood Crusher behind him so that he could charge in case they got away. But otherwise, I'm just keeping my leadership banner within 12. I reform my Bloodletter unit so that they are out of the charge arc of the Swordmasters, as you can see from the little charge marker there. What I really wanted to do is I really wanted them to be facing to the left so that they were basically out of the Swordmaster's charge arc in a conga line facing that archer unit so I could charge them in my next turn. But I know you guys hate it when I conga line, so I decided not to. So that clearly would have been a better move, but I decided not to do it. Now, actually, in combat, I got exactly what I needed because the Fiend won, and he failed his break test and broke. But the problem is the Fiend failed to catch him, which is ridiculous because he's on 2d6 to flee. Actually, he's on 3d6, picked the lowest two, and my Fiend's got Swift Stride, so I really was kind of pissed when my Fiend failed to catch that unit, because I'm getting like loads of gray hair from this game because it's super stressful, and then that was basically my chance at just winning the whole thing, which basically just didn't pan out. So, whatever. It is what it is. Yeah, let's see. And that looks like it was in his turn. Yeah. I don't really know. But here it looks like Bloodletter's charging the flank of the Swordmasters, who's taking some more Flamer shots. My Fiend, my Crusher, my Fiend and the Flamer are both charging his Wizard Bunker, and then my other Blood Crusher charging the other unit of Archers. You can see basically that I forgot to take pictures of his turn because all my Plague Bearers are dead, and yeah. And it looks like my Flamers have eaten another banishment, so yeah. Anyway, so here's my last ditch attempt at winning the game, keeping my leadership banner within 12 inches of the bunker to try to do it all over again. But it's not meant to be. Yeah, because I think this is the last turn of the game, and he passes his break test, and then his Swordmasters win the combat, reform, and basically eat my Bloodletter unit. So, man, real tough match. Light Spam High Elves, definitely really, really tough. I brought a really dirty list too, and they just really gave me hell. So it was a great game. Anyway, again, I apologize for my lack of remembering of the details, but I do hope you guys enjoyed the report, and I'll catch you guys later.